Ms. Shannon, do you agree with infanticide?
Well, I think you're using inflammatory language to basically describe a situation that does not happen. We don't have infanticide happening. Doctors would not do that, and neither would folks who have carried pregnancies.
Okay, would a healthy child, do you agree if a healthy child is born, that is that woman's right to decide if it lives or dies?
What I think is, based on your question, you have a very low opinion of pregnant people. Because if you think that anybody would carry...
Answer the question.
Excuse me.
Answer the question.
I'm answering it. Do you
no,
wanna,
you're not.
You want to answer
take it
or
that
you want to
agree.
keep talking over witnesses? What I'm telling you is nobody would carry a pregnancy and then decide on a Monday because they are bored that they want to have an abortion. That's ridiculous.
So that there is Georgia State Representative Renitta Shannon just totally destroying the insanely BS line of questioning, bad faith line of questioning from South Carolina Congressman Ralph Norman. Ralph Norman asking, are you okay with a mom killing their child after it's born? Are you okay with infanticide? And she's like, instead of asking yes or answering yes or no, not giving him what he wants, which I assume is a no. She's like, no, what are you talking about here? This is a session to discuss the impacts of the Dobbs decision. This has been going on for a couple of days now. We saw Josh Hawley get destroyed the other day by a law professor from Berkeley. But there was more. It wasn't just Renitta Shannon. You had the head of the National Women's Law Center, Fatima Goss Graves, good name. This is what she had to say, chiming in about Ralph's line of questioning.
With all those words, you do agree with basically murdering a child after they're born. Miss Graves, could you answer that? Would you just yes or no?
I have to say, Congressman, how you just characterize the representative's statement is extremely inflammatory and the type of thing that it's dangerous.
And what
you guys have been talking today about the threats against crisis pregnancy centers, which I assume are serious and are terrible. The threats that people who work on abortion access take every single day.
I'm assuming that you're for infanticide. I would also say that her language, the health, Madam Chair.
Gentleman's time.
Again, it's not okay. This is just sort of taking Republicans to school, to church, to anywhere where they can, find God and learn, honestly, find some sort of moral center as they continue with this line of, if it's not what is a woman, some anti-trans, sort of line of questioning, it's do you believe in killing a child? No, we're here to talk about bodily autonomy, abortion rights. What is he even? He's like, after it's born, do you believe in infanticide? And I kind of just hats off to these women, and they've all been Black women who are like, time and time again, here's where you're wrong. This is why this line of questioning is messed up, and I'm not gonna answer or engage in it. Dan.
First of all, Francesca, doesn't it just hit different when you have an older white man, representative from South Carolina, saying "reclaiming my time"?
Doing Maxine Waters.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird feeling. It's like cringe comedy. It's like I don't know what to do here. It's like such a weird mix, but yeah. With this entire thing, though, I've appreciated that you've correctly pointed out that none of the women who have been responding to these ridiculous line of questions from a whole slew of Republicans who are trying to get talking points on Fox News, essentially. Like most of these Republicans will end up on some Fox show later today talking about how, see, I got her, they couldn't answer that question. Yes. But what's happening here is something that, as someone who has watched right-wingers like Ben Shapiro, and I've closely analyzed how they quote unquote debate and how they use performative interactions on camera to try to reframe arguments, take things that are unpopular across both parties, and then expand the language around that so it slowly becomes popular what they're actually fighting for. For example, they're trying to equate abortion to infanticide, which as they're correctly pointing out, is not happening. There are charts that show that the majority of abortions are happening in the first trimester. After that, it's really just like very serious medical cases. But like ultimately, it's not the business of any of these men talking up, asking these BS attempt at gotcha questions here. It's all just politics and games. And I'm glad that these women who usually they're not supposed to be like ingratiated in the political space. A lot of these experts, they like know what they'd work on, and then they come to politics, and sometimes they're blindsided by political actors. But thankfully, all of them know that no, these politicians are playing not just a general, these politicians are playing games, but no, it's a rhetorical strategy that they're trying to use me to build off of. I'm going to block it immediately. I'm going to like immediately send it down. And I'm so proud of them for that.
Yes, absolutely. It's not even a no, but, or yes, and it's just I'm not going to engage in you using the word infanticide in this conversation about reproductive health. And to speak of reproductive health, another representative who has much more experience with it, Lucy McBath, spoke not too long ago about her own experience with stillbirth. This is again a pregnancy she wanted, a pregnancy that had complications, and that she was miscarrying, and talks about that pain of what it is and how necessary abortion saving drugs and reproductive care was into her ultimately being able to survive and be okay and actually, I mean, honestly, like literally not just like bleed out. So let's watch.
My doctor thought it would be better and safer to end the pregnancy naturally, without the medicines so commonly used. So for 2 weeks, I carried my dead fetus and waited for me to go into labor. For 2 weeks, people passed me on the street, telling me how beautiful I looked, asking how far along I was, and saying that they were so excited for me and my future with my child. For 2 weeks, I carried a lost pregnancy and the torment that comes with it. I never went into labor on my own. When my doctor finally induced me, I faced the pain of labor without hope for a living child. This is my story. It's uniquely my story. And yet it's not so unique.
No, it's not. And under draconian abortion laws that are being passed now, even the ones with so-called carve-outs for the life of the mother or the life of the fetus, even with all of that, women like Lucy McBath would be criminalized. Her doctor would be criminalized, accused of maybe you killed this fetus, maybe you did something wrong. And so, and Lucy McBath, by the way, a representative from Georgia, also lost her son later to gun violence, the son she actually did have. So, shut up, Ralph Norman, excuse me, I don't even care what your name is, but shut up, sit down. Listen to women, you have no idea what you're talking about.